I never noticed how Drew pops up late.
Oh yeah, at the very end,
It's like Dustin and Drew. Just like,
the best show for Chicago.
I'm randomly here. Like, hey, don't forget about me.
hey, what are you?
That is
I never
hilarious.
noticed that about the intro, dog. Oh, Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Got a lot to get into on today's episode, man. Could Ryan Poles be tipping his hand with what he wants the Chicago Bears to do at 10? Got an update on Jaquan Brisker and Braxton Jones, injury-wise.
Okay.
Could that play into the draft at all? A lot of conversations down at the owners' meeting. Kyler Gordon contract coming soon?
Deservedly so.
And Coby White named Eastern Conference Player of the Month. What's led him to balling out like that is the Bulls locking in here right now as the 10th seed yet again. They're back down. Yep, 2 losses in a row. There you go. That's where you're at. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. As always, Mr. Media himself, George JC in the building.
Yeah. What's going on, guys?
What's Pat the Designer? I think the pettiest man alive is coming. I'm not sure.
He was here, then he was gone. Hey, then where is he?
We never know. How you feeling, my guy?
Feeling good, feeling great. Another good Tuesday. Had some good food. I just told you off air. I meant what I said. I signed up for V-Shred.
No,
I'm about to shred these pounds.
I'm
not playing around.
Well, free pub for V-Shred.
No, well, I probably should. They're not a sponsor. Sorry.
Just
I signed up for a workout plan that I hope that will get me where I need to go. Mr. Meaty is trying to lose some weight.
Trying to be less meaty.
No, less meaty. You guys can still call me Mr. Meaty, but I'll just be Mr. Lean Meaty.
Well, the meaty part has nothing to do with your body shape, dog. It's the fact that you ate 8 steaks in a sitting.
Hey.
It has nothing to do with how fat and or skinny you are. It never has.
Still hasn't been proven. That's all I'll say.
You said you did it. You can't say it hasn't been proven when you're the one that said, hey, I was out there the other weekend and I knocked down 8 steaks in a sitting.
Look here, I might have misspoke. I was a little off my rocker.
I think you spoke aptly on that as we welcome into Petty's Man Alive. Mr. PK.
There he is. All right.
He's always late. He literally popped in here and was like, I forgot my ice cream and ran away.
Hey, man, StreamYard was being StreamYard. I don't know what to tell you, baby. But I'd say this. I'm fashionably late and on time for the steak jokes.
Oh, fashionably. You got the P ring, you got the P chain on. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I was going to say, does he have a P ring now? We need to eliminate that. Let's just not do that. There's too many jokes on that one. Let's start off here, boys. Let's talk a little football before this goes to a dark place. Ryan Poles spoke today at the owners' meetings, and listen, you're not getting much from Ryan Poles as far as breaking down specifics of what they're going to do in the draft. But I did think one thing about what he talked about today with the talent that is here in the draft, and this is something we've heard a ton of over the course of time here about where the Bears are at and how at 10, you might be in a tough spot here talent-wise. And what he said was the top players, the blue players, I think are condensed pretty small in round 1, even saying basically they're in the single digits. So 1 through 9 is where your blue players are going. And then there's a wide range of really good starting level players that are going to range from probably single digits all the way down to the 50s, 60s, and 70s, essentially saying, listen, you're not going to have that many blue chip guys in this draft, at least how the Bears are evaluating them. They maybe see 4 or 5, which I think is something that we agree with as well. But after that, you're getting starters. You're getting good pieces. This is a meat and potatoes draft. We've talked about that a couple of times. And to me, this kind of says, listen, if the blue chip guys aren't there, we're okay adding more. If the blue chip talent isn't there, we're okay trying to get as much as possible. We're okay trying to get more picks, more of that starting level talent that is going to range in there. Saying the talent level is where it is publicly like that tells me the Bears may be open to that 10th overall pick.
Honestly, if this is exactly what you say it to be, and I think the other reports where, the people that we're looking at 10 through 30, they grade very similar.
Yeah.
It's like you mentioned yesterday, it's a weak draft. It's a weaker draft than what we anticipate to be next year and what last year was. And so, yeah, now I'm coming around to the idea of trying to trade up for those blue chip players. So I see that that's where we're going. Either you try to trade up to get one of those blue players, or you trade back to get more. Either way, 10 is one of those like, you kind of missed it either way. Like, you're not going to get that guy. I still think Will Campbell's going to be there, but these are professionals. They know more than I do, and more we do. They have a scouting team for a reason. So if the fear is that none of the guys that we really want are going to be there, now I'm coming around to trading up if that's what it's going to be.
No, I'm on the same page. That's why we talked about this yesterday's on the Daily Show, moving up to 4, like PK had said, because you may miss out on some guys if there's a run of these blue chip prospects, and we of course know the big ones, the Abdul Carters, Mason Grahams, Armand Membu, Will Campbell possibly could be going, Ashton Genty. All of those guys might be the first positional players off the board before 10. So yeah, I'm with that too. 10 is kind of like in that limbo area where it's like, okay, you're in range of maybe a really good player, but maybe depending on how things go, you're out of range. And now that we talked about Victoria McMillan kind of shooting himself in the foot and getting out of that top 10, there could be, some other people that rise. And so we may be, unfortunately, right out of range. And so I'm fine with the moving back. If Poles wants to move back, the only fear I have of that has he learned his lesson in knowing how to evaluate talent in the later rounds? Because if we were to get more picks off of 10 and go back to whatever the mid-teens or the 20s, say, and we pick up another second or third, do you trust that Poles will make the right decision on just good players that could be your starters, but maybe they need to develop a little bit more? They're not necessarily blue chip, but they're right outside of that. And so that's the only fear I have. But I'm fine with moving back if we can't really get one of those guys that really will make an immediate impact.
I think to me, what makes this all interesting is, right, like, does this mean if you feel that there is a blue chip piece? Because the one name, right, Ashton Genty, I think is not. The more mocks I see, the more conversations I see, it does seem like Shedeur Sanders may be off of the board early. We know what quarterbacks can do. If you are the Raiders, are you just taking Ashton Genty if he's there? Now, the one name that I think may be interesting, and again, you saw Ben Johnson light up yesterday when he talked about him. I saw Ryan Poles light up a little bit today talking about him. If Tyler Warren is on the board, do you view him as possibly one of those blue chip pieces if you're Ryan Poles and say, listen, we're going BPA right now, and if BPA is a tight end, that's where we're going with this? But I don't know if that's the conversation we're having, because here's the thing. You remember last year, right? It's just, there's a lot of talent in this draft. We don't know where we're going here. And rightfully so. There was more talent in this draft. But it seems like the conversation openly that Ryan Poles is willing to have here is like, hey, look, if guys are there, guys are there. If not, there's a bunch of guys in this draft. That to me speaks more to, hey, look, if there's somebody you want, come get them, because we can find another piece. I think that Ryan Poles feels, to JC's point, a lot more confident in this draft. And it may just be because, dog, there is a ton of talent. Listen, at 24, you might get Kenneth Grant. At 30, you might get Tyler Booker. And right, like, there's all these pieces where we get on here every day and we sit here and evaluate some of the draft talent that's out there. And what do we see in the chat every day? There's no way that dude gets past 15. There's no way that dude gets past 10. There's no way that dude gets past 20. Only 20 people can be at 20. You can only have one through 20 at 20. Somebody's getting out of the first round. Somebody's going to fall lower than you think. James Pierce Jr., who's somebody that I think should probably still be a top 15 pick, may end up being a second-round pick because some of the second-round pass rushers might catch the eye more than some of the first-round pass rushers. Like, I think that that's where this kind of draft, it does benefit you more to have more bites at the apple. It does benefit you more to have more opportunity to be able to go out there and draft. Now, for me, I would still be focused on the trenches. I think if you're able to move back, or if you're even still at 10 and you're going with the best pass rusher on the board, or the best interior rusher, or the best offensive lineman, whatever it is, I'm still living in the trenches. But if you go through, and I said it yesterday, boys, like, if Tyler Booker's there and they take Tyler Booker, I'll just be like, all right, okay. That's cool.
You know, the chat is actually echoing that. And the funny thing about it is, like, if you really like look at what's being said, if the individuals after 10 are all grading pretty much on the same scale, like if they're all neck and neck to some degree, then you can afford to take that luxury pick, because there's only so many people that you can actually go and reach for. Like, if Warren is there, great. We still have our second rounders who are grading pretty high. We still have some people in the third round that's still grading pretty high. You can still fix your trenches, so to speak, without necessarily doing anything with 10. That's the benefit or great thing about being in the position that Chicago's in, because you fix so much at this particular point in free agency that you can kind of take those risks. And do I trust Poles to do it? Yeah, I kind of trust him now, because he has better people in the room with him now. We have more competent people in the room. We have 2, 3 former head coaches there, people who are really like we have whole reputations at stake here. It ain't just Brian Poles. It's a lot of people who are like trying to get back on top. That's on his coaching staff. So I mean, let's be
say this though: if you got 3, 4 former head coaches, that means there's a lot of missed draft picks in there. Former being the key word in them. You know what I mean? I mean, there's some missed draft picks in there. I like it, because I feel like if Dennis Allen be like, hey, this should be the starting quarterback of the future, Ben Johnson could be like, hold on now, you got a little too much dip on your chip there, brother. I got this over here. Ben Johnson be like, really love this guy rushing off of the edge. Hey, brother, you don't do this. I got some low caliber defenses.
I don't think Dennis got excused because of his coaching ability.
Dennis kept signing with bad teams that had no hope.
Yeah, you know,
Dennis took the job that was available to him, and all of his teams had no hope. Like the Raiders had no hope. He actually selected okay players at the Raiders. I think
I was about to say, I think he actually did pretty good in the draft.
He drafted Khalil Mack. He drafted Josh Jacobs, I think. Same draft, I believe. No, that's not the same draft. I think he was still there for Jacobs though, but he actually picked some solid pieces. But he just went to teams that had no hope. So you know, you shot yourself in the foot by taking the job. The one thing that I will say before we get off this topic though, that I do think is interesting is the love we saw Ben Johnson give to the left tackle position today, and I talked about this in the episode that I dropped earlier. The love that we saw even Ryan Poles talk about, right? Because we did get an injury update on Braxton Jones and on Jaquan Brisker. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We got an update, though, on Braxton Jones. I want to focus on that first, because the conversation around Karan Amagaji being able to come in early in training camp, because Braxton Jones is going to be limited by the time training camp gets here. He's going to be limited at the start of training camp. That's going to give Karan a ton of opportunity. Essentially, what he said about Karan Amagaji was that he liked him as a developmental prospect coming out of college. When he was with Detroit, he liked him. He believed that he had strong traits to work with. He was not discouraged by how 2024 went. You basically screwed the kid over. Like, I don't like how he's built. I don't like how he looked. I said that from training camp on. But you did kind of screw him over by going, hey, so you got to go up against one of the best defensive lines in football up in Minnesota and throwing him out there. Could have chipped, could have gave him a running back chip, could have gave him a little tight end help on the blocking. We ain't do none of that. And he recognizes, and just like I was just saying, Ben Johnson recognized that he was put in a tough situation. So it sounds like to me, and I'm not saying they won't take a tackle in this draft, but it does sound like when talking about at 10, tackle is not really where they're most concerned about. And even Ryan Poles said today, you know, you really got to see what these guys look like with the coaches that are going to be coaching them, and we don't have that opportunity yet.
I think that is Ben Johnson showing complete trust in the people that he picked to be a part of the team. And that makes all the sense in the world, right? Like if I'm picking, you know, a squad of basketball players and I'm like, oh, well, I'm picking P Kid first and I got Pat next. I'm trusting that you all are going to do your job. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, you know, I don't trust that, you know, you can develop these other maybe B-list players, these bench players. No, your game speaks for itself. And so for me, I feel like Ben Johnson is going to put trust in his staff to develop these guys and say, well, we can do it better than the previous regime. You know, you brought Karan Amageji in, and yeah, he looked like a deer in headlights. You brought Braxton Jones in. He's kind of peaked, but maybe you can get more out of him. You got one of the best offensive line coaches, you know, as far as reputation and in the league, and Dan Richard. So you put your trust in that and you say, okay, let's see what we got before we move forward. And so that's another reason why I think they're not really invested highly in left tackle. Could they still address it later on in the draft? Yeah. But as far as like the earlier names, I would still want Will Campbell also because we have a bet in place because of that at number 10. But if they don't go that route, if they don't go that route, I don't know. We'll see, you know. But I like his trust in his staff.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan Poles is ignoring the O-line at all. I mean, like, he did exactly what we wanted him to do. I saw you put the comment up there. Like, he didn't ignore it at all. Like, we got the best. We needed a center. We got one of the best. We got the best available center. We got a freaking all-pro guy with like 3 Super Bowls. Like four. Dad, 4.
All right.
4. Hey, give him all his rings, right?
Hey, brother,
like,
he's only known winning. He's legitimately, since he's been in the NFL, only won.
That's crazy.
I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe he's ever had a losing season.
There you go.
Keep the good times rolling, baby.
So, like, honestly, they did exactly what we wanted them to do. If he wants to take a tight end at 10, because they think he's an impact player, and everybody in the coaching staff is like, yeah, that guy's going to be something. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you really going to say?
Well, I think here's the thing too, right? There's a lot of pieces in this draft that you can go. And with the Braxton Jones conversation, the one thing that I would keep an eye on if you're the Bears is, you know, what does a Gray Zabel look like for you? Where does he end up falling in the draft and all of this? Because now he's a can't miss prospect in the first round. But again, it's only 32 picks in the first round. You know, is he somebody who maybe falls a little bit lower where you can get up there and grab a player like that? Like, to me, there is a conversation that can still be had. I don't know if I see them taking one at 10, but if there's a trade back scenario, and I think it's going to be tough for the Bears to trade back, I personally do. I think it's just a draft where, you know, to Ryan Pohl's point here, I can wait for most of the pieces to get to me because I got a backup piece that's probably going to be very similar.
What is that?
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's to me where it gets a little bit tough, or it gets a little bit difficult to say you can just trade back, because you got to have a team that wants to trade up. There has to be a piece that they want to trade up for. But the big thing for me with all of this is if the Bears don't take a left tackle at 10, doesn't mean they can't take a left tackle.
Facts.
Josh Connerly is going to be available to you in the second round. That you've still got Gray Zabel who's on the board. Josh Simmons, I don't know if he's going to go up or go down by the time the draft gets here. Seems like more teams are having the same concern that I am, where they just like, hey, y'all know you only played 5 games, right? Like, those are things that end up, especially when you get closer to the draft, end up meaning a little bit more. So with the Braxton Jones injury, are they just going to be completely out on Braxton Jones? I love that Ben Johnson was like, put some weight on him and see what he looks like. Feed him some, JC, he was calling on you. Feed him some steaks. Let's see if we can get more of an anchor on this guy.
Gotcha. All right.
You know what I mean? Feed him some steaks.
Because this is not just art. Like, I mean, this is owners meeting. Realistically, you saw the Browns, they made their statement about some things. You're starting to see the top 10 kind of shape up as to where people are leaning, where other teams are leaning. Cleveland's getting a quarterback. Cleveland don't get a quarterback.
It makes sense.
Cleveland don't get. Hey, when your owner says we made a big swing with Deshaun and missed,
bro,
is Deshaun still on the roster?
Bro, y'all heard Cleveland owner today was like, hey, bro,
we messed up.
We messed up.
That's it. Hey, we did that. We messed up.
That's crazy.
We missed with Deshaun Watson, and he's still on the
still there. That's crazy.
They're getting a quarterback.
That had me dying. When I saw that, I was just, him and Jerry Jones just was like, hey, you know what we doing? We coming out guns blazing. Pow, 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 pow. And then I came out blasting. That's what they was on today. We also got an update on the Jaquan Brisker injury. Basically, that he's been medically cleared to go and that he should be back and ready to go. Now, we haven't talked about this nearly as much. I think there was one mock draft where me and JC talked about it where they end up taking
Xavier Watts
early. Yeah, Xavier Watts. They end up taking him with 41. I was ready to flip a table. But That's what the mock drafts do to me when it's just stupid. It's just like, hey, how's the safety draft? It's not great. Well, you know what? Let's take one. Wait a minute. Hold on now. Let's calm down. And I like Xavier Watts, but I don't love Xavier Watts. But to me, we had this conversation the other day on the Chicago Bears podcast. I would be interested if later in the draft you were able to come away with Jaquan Brisker insurance. Now, that does not mean I'm out on Jaquan Brisker. What it means is I am fearful that you may be halfway through this season and Jaquan Brisker's injury concerns will pop up again. I don't want to go into another season stupid. We went into last season stupid. Oh, maybe Coleman Shelton can be a starting center. Well, it didn't work.
Mm.
And so, not to say that I want to replace Jaquan Brisker. I want him to be healthy. I want him to be able to go out there and be the guy that he is. But J-Mac said something on the podcast last week or 2 weeks ago, one or the other. And I thought it was just a bar. You can do everything perfect. Football doesn't care. You can heads up, head to the side, perfect tackle, come in, wrap up, boom, perfect. Football doesn't care.
Mm.
You can still end up concussed. You can still end up knocked out. You can still end up laying on the floor. That's where I think this thing gets scary. And to me, that's where I would want to see Ryan Poles come in and possibly add in one more piece at that safety position.
So who would you look at?
Oh, this mug been in here the whole time. He know he can add himself, right?
He literally said that, and he's still not in here.
Oh, super producer Joel, hold on. I got it. You didn't threw off the whole rhythm. Now I got to reset everything and rebuild.
Oh, great! Yeah,
Give it a
see
second,
3
Joel.
plus.
Yeah. It's all
No,
off.
he's at the studio.
Your mic's not on.
I can't. It said I couldn't add it. Only you can see me, Pat. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Your
okay.
mic's not on.
There you go.
Huh?
There you go.
Your
Yeah,
mic's
you
not
do
on.
got to put your microphone on.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Hey, you got to turn
No,
those
you got to
listening numbers.
switch
You got
to
to
the actual microphone that is hold on, save layout.
The rookie numbers.
Why
Joe,
is
you
it
gotta
doing
break
this?
that thing way up. You know, gotta get those numbers up.
Joel,
Somebody said super producer's not producing
super
again.
producer having
How
a rough
about
week.
now?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
There
How
you
about
go.
now?
There you
Oh,
go.
there he is. That's the microphone. There he is, right there. Welcome into the show, super producer
Thanks,
Joel,
Baki.
ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
Appreciate
guys,
y'all for
how's-
tuning in and showing love. Hit that like. He having a rough week, dog. Yeah, yesterday it was just black on the screen, on the videos. It was,
No, it was a
audio
different
was
setting.
all over the place. Fires in the studio. It's been a rough week for the super producer. Man. Y'all keep him.
Had a
keep
couple
him
of
in
ants
prayer.
in there too. He let go.
Oh, the whole army of ants in that mug.
Hey, why you tripping? I was
Bro.
like, flick, flick.
Bro, that freaking I don't know. It's in the clip that I posted yesterday, that I posted last night. Go back and watch the clip. Is the moment where kid passes me a napkin because there's an ant right there, and I stuck my whole thumb on this ant and lifted the napkin, and he ran away.
I'm out of here.
Hey,
He
bro,
was like, I ain't dying today.
oh man, I don't even know who he was. Oh, Brisker. This mother threw off the whole show. Just showing up. GM had no, I'm joking. Do you guys feel like you got to get Brisker insurance coming into the season?
I think it'll be prudent.
No. I don't. No. I'll say yes. Yes, of course you need insurance because the injuries are piling up. When it comes to concussions, that's nothing to play with. If you want to continue to, take chances and say he's your guy, I love Brisker, but Brisker plays that violent version of football that everybody loves to see from the 80s and the 90s, where it's just like you're just going all in on your opponent. So yes, exactly. Mike Brown, which we love.
Watch your head.
Watch your head. But
John Lynch?
That's the problem.
John Lynch was different. John Lynch wasn't Mike
John
Brown.
Lynch was another
Steve
animal.
Atwater?
He didn't care about
Hey, John Lynch was on a Ryan Clark level. He'll take himself out of a game to take you out of a game.
Cam Chancellor? No, I could get going. Anyways, go ahead.
Cam Chancellor, actually, yeah, that was a pretty good one. But no, I mean Jaquan, yes, he's a guy who clearly knows how to play the game of football violently, but it's taking a toll on him. And so even if he's ready to go and he's good for this upcoming season, you still need insurance, like you mentioned. But you don't go for a safety like who is it, Matt Miller's mock draft that we talked about. No,
that was Matt Miller's. They had Xavier Watson.
I'm not taking Xavier Watson that early. No, not at all.
Pick six,
not at all.
Well, I should say pick six. Interception, Demon. They did a good job. I think he had
that's great.
Did he have 24, 26 interceptions over his
he's a beast. He's a beast to pick. But
he feels more like an Eddie Jackson than a Jaquan Brisker.
Exactly.
Yeah, you still need that guy that can like set the tone in the backfield. I think there's a lot of more guys that will be coverage, but you need that guy that can basically act as that other linebacker. But I think it's prudent to plan for it. I mean, look, if he's great when he's there. You would hate to have the recreation of a Tevin Jenkins at the safety position. He's a great player, but when he's hurt, and now is he falling into that category? And it breaks my heart to see Tevin go because I really like Tevin, but. They say availability is the
best ability.
Yeah, the best ability. So, I wouldn't be because if you check out I just recorded my first episode of the Bears Breeze, by the way.
Oh, Chicago Bears Breeze.
Let me go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to upload it pretty
over
soon.
The Chicago Bears Breeze.
But just a little preview though. But I wouldn't be mad based off the conversation you guys had earlier, which is very good, by the way. Very good job, all three of you guys.
Thank you, appreciate you.
In terms of with Tyler Warren. I can see them taking an impact player in that first round, and then like people keep sleeping on the fact of like it's like they are liking Braxton Jones. I don't think that the preference is for them to take a tackle. They might take the best player. So in the second round, they may take like a linebacker or another like a secondary player with one of those two picks, and you still got the third round pick. They traded their fourth round pick, so. It's going to be interesting.
I was actually just looking at that, like where some of these safeties are ranked, and it's like there's only one safety outside of Watts, which again, not taking him that high. That's crazy. But the kid from Ohio, I remember hearing a lot about him and actually seeing some stuff about him. If we actually went that direction, Lathan Ransom, big dude, 6'2", 210.
He ain't the best safety though.
Yeah, he ain't the best.
Iman Warrior is.
No.
Yeah, how you say his last name? That's exactly who I would go with. If you got anybody,
if you talk about safeties, I'd pick him.
Yeah, Amon Warrior.
Yeah, he's projected to go. He's projected to go before we get to him.
Yeah.
Well, Amon Warrior be.
He'll be there at the end.
I'm going based off somebody that's like we don't have to stretch. We get him with our third round pick, and like he's definitively going to be there. The kid you just named, he ain't projected to be there.
But I would say this: we don't really know what this defense is really going to be. If they add to the D line, if Dio's impactful, if Grady Jarrett's impactful, if there's improvement from Jervon, and then also that means it unleashes Montez to actually be the player we want him to be as well. We may not. It may skewer who we needed to play a certain way.
Yeah.
Right. Now they're still saying they're going to play a form of this 4-2, this nickel. Okay, but if it's more predominant, if it's more predicated on this defense really coming after more attacking, the safety may not have as much importance. He still needs to have. We still need him, but it may not be that precedent because the defense has shifted in terms of philosophy.
Well, I think what scares me about Jaquan is that like if you being real about Jaquan in this defense fell apart without him last year.
That's a fact.
And I don't know how much you attribute to him, but I think you need to give him more credit than probably what most Bears fans do. Jaquan Brisker, dare I say, is the Akeem Hicks of this defense. He is the heartbeat of this defense. And now that may change when other pieces come in, new coaches come in, but this defense fell apart the second Jaquan Brisker was off the field. All of a sudden, we giving up 900 yards in a rushing game. All of a sudden, we can't start. Oh, absolutely.
No. It was a fact. But I would say Billings, when Billings went down.
Nah, because we were still getting
Boyd. We're talking about Boyd.
Billings getting ran
because
up.
we lost. When did we lose Brisker? By the Jaguars game, right?
We lost Brisker a week before the Jaguars game. Billings was still there.
They thought he was going to come back and he kept sitting out.
Right. We still had a defense up, and the team fell apart to me because we dominated the Panthers game. It was like I feel like it was a few weeks after that they actually started to fall apart. I feel like Billings. I'm not saying that Brisker didn't. He helped, But I really feel
Billings
like
to me is more of a isn't the vocal leader though. I think Jaquan is more of the rah-rah, like, follow me, follow my lead, follow my actions type of guy. Billings wasn't as loud.
I'm not talking about vocal. I'm talking about impact, getting in the backfield, because remember, everybody was like, Billings is all of a sudden really like he really stepped his game up.
Oh yeah, his
D-line.
pass rush game was phenomenal. But the reason I say that though, right? You lose Brisker in that Panthers game. You don't have him for the Jacksonville game, and even though you played well there, you don't have him for the Commanders game, where the defense absolutely just soiled itself at the end of the game. I mean, if Tyreek is back there, I don't know if that play happens right there, not if Tyreek, if Jaquan is back there, I don't know if that play happens right there, because he's probably looking at Tyreek like, what are you doing right now? Get your goofy over here. The Cardinals game. And I say all that to say, right, Jaquan can be used in so many different ways. And I think you hit the nail on the head with it, right? Where there's a version of this 4-3 defense where essentially Jaquan can be the other linebacker. Or Jaquan can be, like that safety that is coming down. We had a season where Jaquan Brisker was our sack leader. Like, I think he's that Swiss Army knife that every defense loves to have.
Yeah.
And you can put him in any position. Now, I'm not going to say he's great in coverage, but he's good enough in coverage that you're not going to just sit there and throw the ball over his head. I think that he is the hard hitter. Is that a giant cup of milk?
Horchata. I'm sorry. Did that just throw everybody off?
He needs some milk.
Horchata, baby. Horchata.
Shout out to AR vibes.
Just go ahead and hit it. Well, good time.
Shout out to AR vibes. Said, when are you guys having your mock draft 3.0 with Joel wearing his GM cap, JC famous dark horse picks, and designer doing his thing? What about Kid? What does Kid do special? He didn't get a shout out.
Kid brings up players that are higher on the board. That
first off,
he brings up mid quarterbacks. Jackson Dart
got some game now. Hold on now. I like Jackson Dart.
I wasn't there for that draft, so that's why he didn't mention that. So that's okay. Right? I was at the hospital. I just want to throw that out.
The heartstrings, Kid.
I want to make you feel bad. I want to make you feel real bad. Throw some dirt on you real quick.
You did a good job.
Yeah. He's at the hospital watching you all take those bad picks. That's what I'm doing.
Hey man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to the show. I don't even know where we was at. This man pulled out a mug of horchata.
Brisker's impact. I think you were intimating Kyler's contract, right? Is that what you were starting to lead into?
Oh yeah, we can get into that, man. Hey, hit the like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I think the Kyler Gordon conversation is an interesting one. What's up, my guy?
It's homemade horchata. He made it himself.
Isn't that milk with cinnamon and something else? What's in the horchata, right?
It's rice. It's rice and milk.
Hey,
and
Sam, I got to go down the street and pay $5.99 for mine.
It's not hard to make, kid.
It's not hard to make.
It's hard to make, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
it's 3 ingredients, dog.
Steak and horchata.
That's right.
That was a wild thing to see him whip out a full thing of horchata right there. The Kyler Gordon contract, I think, is going to be an interesting one. We saw Ryan Post talk about that today as well. I thought that this was something that really stood out because he said, again, he's reiterating, right? This is somebody we want here. I thought this was interesting, though, and I don't know if we had heard this, but even though we kind of insinuated it after hearing Dennis Allen talk about Kyler Gordon, but basically saying that after meeting with the coaches and discussing things with the coaching staff, the Bears want Kyler Gordon to be a part of their future. Remember, Dennis Allen went into his first interview and they were asking, what players do you like? What do you see? He's like, I think we got a lot of good guys here. We got to be a lot of fun this season. Kyler Gordon's amazing.
Yep. He praised Kyler. Yeah.
Hey, never in my life have I seen somebody make more money live on TV. That was crazy. Like he was probably at about $10 million a year. And I was like, that's 12 right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like with maybe it's shifting the philosophy. Like Brisker is definitely an important part to strong safety. but it might be that they're really skewing things more towards the slot, the D line, more pressure, more aggressive type stuff. So we might be seeing a change in that philosophy on this defense.
Could be. I think Kyler Gordon's somebody that we definitely all want to see back here, just because of everything that he can do. I would love to see Kyler and Jaquan back here. I hope Jaquan has a 17-game healthy season. But
oh man, that would be nice.
I mean, to me, I think. Oh yeah, we didn't do that. Michael Anthony's right. Joe, you said what now? What'd you say there, Joe?
Did I say shift?
Yeah, I believe you did.
HIFT.
Appreciate you. I got nervous on that one. JC, when you look at Kyler Gordon, we kind of talked about this on the Morning Breeze with the slot safety market.
Yeah.
Is Kyler Gordon resetting this market? Is that something that you want to see him doing? Realistically, top slot safety is Michael. What's up, boy? Last name? Michael Anthony, the second. That's not the right name. I know it's not Michael Anthony.
I can't think of it right now either, but yeah,
but he reset that DB market there from the Jets, and basically getting about $10 million a year. You'd see him kind of right at that range. Do you see him resetting this thing?
Would he be worth it? I would say that he would be worth resetting the market for the slot cornerback because he can do it all. He's fairly stayed healthy, fairly
Michael
long
Carter.
enough.
Shout out Gucci for that.
Michael Carter. Thank you.
Carter
yeah, third. But yeah, I mean, you've seen what he can do. To me, he kind of is like a smaller version of Brisker. He loves getting his nose kind of in there in the defensive line. I love, again, I've said this plenty of times, I love the way he just kind of wiggles his way into the backfield and puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback when they use him for blitz schemes. Very good coverage cornerback as well for when he's going up against wide receiver 2s and 3s. Can hold his own against tight ends too. I think he packs a punch for somebody as small as he is. Not that he's small like normal human size, but for a football player.
Yeah.
Kyler Gordon definitely deserves a contract extension, and I feel like, it should be up there with some of the better ones in the league.
Yeah.
He had a career year. Had a career year. Best in tackles. I think he had a couple for loss. Like, he made a strong argument for himself to get paid. I don't know if he's going to reset the market. I don't really know what that. I'll be honest with you. It kind of depends on if Poles takes the same approach he did with
Jalen
Johnson.
Like, is he going to make him earn it, or is he going to get this done early? Like, and how much input does the new coaching staff actually have in regards to that? So, like,
I don't think that. I think that because he drafted. These are his guys.
Yeah.
Tevin,
that is a difference.
Tevin wasn't his guy. Jalen wasn't. He didn't. He's like Justin. None of those guys were his guys. So I don't think will be the first cycle of players that he's drafted that will actually get signed. He did keep Cole though. Komet. He signed him.
Kept Cole Komet.
Yeah, but he didn't draft those. So this would be the first time. I would think that if he had the vision for his guys that he drafted, if he wants to keep them there, I don't know if he's going to make them wait and see, because I think he believed in them from day one.
Yeah, Kyler Gordon was his first pick basically, and to me, I think here's my thing with Kyler. Listen, he's a great player. I think the injuries that he has had are football injuries, where not just concussions and different things like that, but it's bone snaps or normal stuff that's going to happen when I'm trying to take somebody's head off in the backfield.
Yeah.
To me, I'm not concerned with him on an injury level right now. I think that he will be worth keeping around. I think he's somebody who Dennis Allen could play a lot with on this defense. And listen, what sucks about a lot of this is you are coming to a point here because you're paying big money, because Joe Tooney's going to get the bag. Because he need to get paid too. Where's his money at? We need to figure that out. Where's his money at? Pay that.
New contract.
But Grady Jarrett's gotten paid. Dio Dangbo getting the big bag right now. Jalen Johnson getting the bag. You're setting things up to all these contracts are set up perfectly for Caleb Williams in 2027 to essentially get that rookie contract extension to where we ain't got to go in here and do all the arbitration on it. We paying you. Don't worry about it. We got the money already here for you. Don't do what the Cowboys are doing here, and then Jerry Jones just slandering probably the biggest agent in football right now. But I think you're doing all of these things and setting all of this up. Somebody's got to go. Whether that is Brisker, don't want it to be Brisker, want them both to be here. Whether it is Brisker, whether it is Cole Kmet, whether it is Jalen Johnson. I've said multiple times, I doubt Jalen Johnson gets a second contract here with the Chicago Bears because you are focusing on investing more in the trenches. I think that that's a while away, so you don't have to worry about that soon. But like, I think there's all of these pieces where eventually it's going to come to a point where it's like, we got to get rid of some of these dudes. Tremaine Evans, of course, is going to come off of the books and stuff like that. But you're going to have to pay TJ Edwards a real contract next time around. TJ Edwards is making what all four of us make.
He's making $7 million.
They got this man in here on pennies on the dollar for what he should be making for the production he's putting out. Guess what? You ain't going to get that deal again.
Yeah.
But he's 29, though. So he might. That to me, who ends up probably not being here, I think Kmet would be gone, especially if they end up getting that tight end. And then eventually, Kevin Byard is 32.
Yeah, I was going to say Byard.
$8.5 million. To me, I think those were the moves those would be the guys. Tremaine he would probably be gone, which makes the room for, to possibly pay Edwards.
Yeah.
And then maybe they bring up another linebacker eventually in the draft.
What I do love about all of this is like you can see Ben Johnson's hand on all this. You can see how he's building this team out, and not that he's trying to phase certain guys out, but even his comments, right? There's some guys here that I do wonder how they fit in with the future. We talk about Cole. I think Cole's phenomenal. I think Caleb's got to throw him the football when he's open. And I think that your offensive coordinator schemed him out of the game. The one thing that Ben Johnson keeps saying, though, that I don't know if Cole fits with is Yak.
Shut up, Drew. So I used all my words today. The
one thing that I don't know if Cole Kmet fits with is Yak. Cole Kmet gonna run into a tackler.
Yeah. He doesn't go straight. He goes into the person.
Ben Johnson is all about Yak. When he was talking about the EPA per play, when he's talking about he's like, we're still gonna take our deep shots, but we're gonna run plays that are gonna put people in a good position. We're going to get Yak. DJ Moore is a great Yak guy. I think Odunze is a great Yak guy. DeAndre Swift, technically, if you get him the football and he actually does something with it, can be a great Yak guy.
I ain't get my Yak sound yet.
Hey, you think he's gonna put him in the slot?
Yards after contact?
Who?
DeAndre Swift?
Yeah,
literally. Every time they threw him the football, he didn't catch that many. He would actually get some yards after contact.
Those big runs he
after
had
contact, or he just caught the ball and then
I guess
yards after catch. Yards after catch is Yak.
Yeah, no.
Is it yards after contact or catch?
Yards.
I think it's both actually. Now that we're talking about it,
catch.
What I meant was yards after contact. He clearly goes down on the
yards after catches. Yeah.
Well, you go get you Cam Scatterboo out the draft. There's your Yak. Boom, boom, boom. And then runs
yards after catches. Yak.
Okay. Well, I guess yards after contact is YACT. What is that, dude?
Still Yak, but you're making up some new stuff. It's okay, George.
Yeah, hey, listen, I thought it was always yards after catch. I was like, all right, maybe I didn't.
No, he made me second. No, it's yards after.
He made me second guessing it for a second.
All right.
All right. I'm sitting here looking now, and I'm like, what is yards after contact? I think it's just yards after contact. Like,
oh, so they didn't give that.
I think it's just yards after contact.
Yak was taken already, so you just got to say the whole thing.
You had me confused. I'm like, wait a minute, what is yards after contact?
Yakety yak. Don't talk back.
Hey, let me ask Chat GPT real quick.
Hey, B-Dog said that milk got you tweaking, JC.
Stay thirsty, my friend.
JC jiving out here. No, man. Like, to me, like, what kind of players that Ben Johnson wants. And I think when you talk about some of the contracts that are going to be available and are going to be up, there may be some people that are moved out.
Yep.
There may be some different. And again, your favorite Bear may not be here.
Well, you got to realize
this
is a new coach. So the team was built for the Eberflus defense, and whatever that
what?
I don't know. What's up yours?
Whatever that offense was that they trotted out, the last 2 or 3 years, this is a whole new ball game. So the idea is that you're going to get a turnover again of the roster, where some guys are going to make it and some guys aren't. But I think we actually have a coach And it sounds like with the support and the team that they put in place in terms of the coaching staff, now we can feel comfortable in a sense. I mean, we still got to see these guys play and all that, but there's something that it says we should have this team and being able to really draft now for this iteration in the next few, 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, hopefully
we got a quarterback.
That's the big thing. It all comes down to, do you got the quarterback, man? If you got the answer at the quarterback position, we're going to be solid. I think we got the right coach, man. Just listening to him talk. Dog, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. When he started talking about EPA, I was like, oh, he's a football nerd. Oh, hold on now.
Oh, got you tingly, huh?
Bro, I was tingly. I was looking for Michelle. You know what I mean? Bro, when he said we're going to run, because here's the thing about EPA per play. Realistically speaking, and I said this earlier on the show, but like, that is the best stat for football ever. Because what it's doing is it's telling you, it's accounting for how many points you should get based on the game situation, the down and distance, field positioning. It's the most efficient way to measure offense and defense. Like, when you look at EPA in that game where Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions, Detroit won the EPA. Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions, but Detroit wins the EPA. Detroit wins the game.
What does EPA stand for? So I don't have another yak experience.
Environmental Protection.
The Environmental Protection Agency. Gotcha. Okay.
EPA is expected points added per play, basically.
Oh, I thought it was like
what it is based on where you're at on the field. There's a number that you are supposed to get in simplest terms. So, like, if you're at the 50, it might be like 1.7. It would down distance, whatever the play is. You're supposed to get 1.7 points right now where you're at on the field. As you move closer to the end zone, you continue to get more points that you're supposed to get. There's a lot of times where, and based on, again, situation and stuff like that, why you see the teams that actually focus on it be a lot more aggressive, where you're at the 20, but your EPA is 5.4. I shouldn't be coming away with 3 points. I should be coming away with 7 points because I'm closer to 20. So you'll see them be a little bit more aggressive in that situation where, hey, I'm playing for the EPA right now. This is the points that I should be coming away with more times than not. And what's interesting about this stat, when you look it up, the top 5 teams, all playoff teams. The bottom 5 teams, all cheeks.
Right.
I think, and what it does is that it makes it more modern in terms of your gameplay. I like it because, before, when we used to watch some of the Bears games back in the day, where it's like, it was 4th and 1, or like they kind of use the old wives' tale of like when to go for it. It was taboo to go for it on 4th down, all that type of stuff, and depending where you were. So it's cool to know that he's more modern in terms of his coaching. And to go from there. But it's funny, kid just sent us something in the group chat.
He's just sitting here sending all of the terms so that
but it's technically not wrong. You got yak and you got yak. There's yards after contact. There's yards after contact.
There we go.
It's still yak.
Well, I think yards after contact is more of a running stat, though, right?
No. The funny thing is, it was still yak.
Catch the ball.
It's mainly from catching the ball, but what's funny is they used to put it in the same parentheses as yak for the acronym.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's still funny.
We know what we're talking about. We said 3 or 4 of us knew what we were talking about when we said
no, that just means I have more of an open mind. I love you all.
Hey, take another sip.
Take another sip of that horchata. There you go.
The funny thing about what you just mentioned about EPA and how much Ben Johnson kind of relies on that type of metric, being that it is an advanced stat, is we're going to see a level of football that we've never seen in Chicago, because how often did we say, hey, we're going for it on 4th? And we don't do that much in Chicago.
This is going to be recently.
We've done a little more.
We did pretty well, even in the red zone, depending on the quarterback, because like we've had moments. It's just the issue we have is not necessarily having consistency.
Yeah,
we'll see something like, oh my God, that was the greatest play I've ever seen, because we don't do it often. I think we're going to get used to seeing some dynamic offense.
And Caleb is phenomenal on 4th down conversion. So I mean, like, Ben Johnson, from a mad scientist statistical standpoint, has the quarterback he wants in a situation where he can actually use these advanced metrics. It's going to be some exciting times in Chicago. Like, win or lose, we going to have some exciting games. That's all I'm saying.
And the problem was Flus would go for it on fourth down, but it would be in a situation where it's like, okay, good. The analytics say go for it on fourth down. Then it'd be like later in the game, he's in the same spot in the same situation. It'd be like, all right, the analytics say go for it on fourth down. Where's Tory Taylor at? Why is he? What's going on? Why are we punting right now?
Or
punt.
You know what his favorite play was. We're going for it on fourth down. Guess what we're gonna throw? I'm gonna throw to Joe. I'm gonna throw to Joe right here. Hey Joe, behind the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna throw to you. Hopefully you get this 5 yards. That's all.
Yeah,
that's
with
all.
no blocking. With no blocking.
Hey, listen, we're gonna just throw. We're just gonna lie. We're just gonna lie right here.
But Pat, Flus was stupid. I don't think Flus was stupid. I think Flus was defensive minded, and more times than not in the modern era, that will get you shot in the foot.
Take that down to
Dallas. You mean he was stupid?
I didn't say that. I didn't call him a dumb. Now, because see, listen, being dumb is saying what you don't do before a draft and then losing money.
Oh, classical birth over there.
Hey, shout out to Dark Mind. He said on 4 and them grave. This is the best pod in the city. I appreciate that.
Joe, what you doing, bro?
I love it. I like
Joe,
he can't.
Grave, dog.
There's certain things you can't say.
God,
hey, nah, the way you said it, you definitely sound old, dog.
Yeah, you sound like you from
that's
where
what
you
he's
from.
on forward. That's Chicago.
You definitely sound like you got from the south side. You gotta say it way quicker than that.
Hey, first off,
in them grave.
It's on phone them grave.
I'm sorry for articulating.
No, but you don't articulate a word like that. That's the point.
Hey, second off, ain't none of us gang affiliated, so it ain't no nothing grave.
Ain't no nothing grave.
Hey, we on God out here.
I
You know what I mean?
I appreciate Dark Mind. We appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you, Dark Mind. Hey,
hey, Joe, say that slower.
No.
1, 4,
and those people out there in them's grave.
Hey, we pay taxes up here, dog.
You know what I mean?
No, you got nope. No, that's you guys. That's low blows. We all no.
Joe got a 401k out here, dog. You ain't got no business on the grave. On all 4 of those people out there and them grave.
Jesus. Oh God.
Hey man, appreciate it out here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Like, subscribe. That Joe sounded like a narc.
I sound like a narc.
He sound like the cop that's in the high school. Hey, what y'all boys got going on over here? Does anybody have any illegal activity? Do you have any paraphernalia on your hands?
No, narc.
Might I get some of that marijuana?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I was just trying to
hit a hip, hop, hippity hop, hit a hip, hop, and you don't stop. Rocking to the bang, bang,
bang. Boogie say up jumps the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity bee. Yeah.
No, hey, he wasn't even there. He was on These Are the Braves. Brakes on a plane, brakes on a car. Oh, let's finish it out here, man. Give Coby White his props, man. Coby White won Eastern Conference Player of the Month. He has been absolutely balling out. Just to tell P Kid, you wanted to trade me for my entire life. Y'all remember that? I literally put this on here just for that reason. Coby White,
come on, man,
bro. Kid used to want to trade Coby like it was personal.
I wanted to trade that man yesterday.
Yeah.
Coby would be having good games. The kid would be like, hey, this is the time to trade him. I was like, did he do something? Did he clock your check? Like, what's going on?
Hey, Pat, guess what? It's still the best time to trade that man.
So his value is no better than it is right now.
Never been higher. You mean he was a player of the month, the Eastern Conference Player of the Month? That means he's better than anybody this month. Oh, well, yeah, that's trade stock right there.
You can't trade him now, kid.
Hey, as soon as the offseason hit, trade that man.
Hey,
That's okay.
Coby White posted 27.7 points this month, 4.7 rebounds, 3.7 assists. Now, when we went up against some tough competition the other day in OKC, he was not helpful. Bulls on a 2-game skid here as they now sit in the 10th seed, but 10th seed. But listen, I still that's not a bad thing for me. Like, I was not surprised to see the Bulls get absolutely destroyed by OKC because that's what it looks like when a 1 seed plays an 8 seed. Like, I don't know why all of a sudden Bulls fans expected all of this different. No, they're the bottom of the barrel. They will probably make the playoffs as an 8 seed and get absolutely road graded when the playoffs get here. I looked at yesterday as a good situation for the Bears or for the Bulls. If you showed me something at the end of the season, I think you got a good young core. Get the best draft pick possible.
The issue for me was always, could Coby White string together a good number of games where you saw him be the guy and score a lot of points? You knew he was a scoring guard coming out of UNC. Like, what didn't he have like the rookie record at UNC for points over Jordan?
Some type of record at UNC.
Freshman score. I believe. I mean, I got to double check that. I forget what it was.
I thought he was leading.
He had something. It was something with scoring, but I mean, you always knew that he could put the ball in the basket, but was it on a consistent basis? And now you got the guys out the way, you got the DeMars out the way, you got the Zachs out the way. Hopefully, you get Vooch out of here, who lost us a game in the past game.
Oh, he did lose.
Get him out the way.
And
you get what you get from Coby for the last month: 27.6 points, 4.6 rebounds, 3.7 assists. Like, that's really, really gaudy numbers. So my thing is, can it continue, and can you build around Coby White?
My best thing I've seen from Coby White is if you compare it to last season, he's averaging less minutes, same amount of attempts per game, but he's actually averaging more, and he's actually shooting around the same. So he's improved in some respects. He looks a lot better. He's definitely built upon, and I think Pat would mention it. The moment he had a good offseason or a full offseason with no injuries, he was able to put some work in the gym. You saw that work, and you saw that translate to his play on a basketball court. And I can't be mad at that. All jokes aside, all the stuff, I'm happy to see that he's improved. There was a time he didn't look like he belonged on the court. It was a time he was looking very Dalen Terry-ish, and now I got another person that we could trade. But anyway, he was very.
Somebody brought this out on ESPN today, and I ain't gonna lie to you, this has got to be the worst thing I ever said, because you don't think about it when you're in the moment. Boy. And we got to get up out of here after it. But the Oklahoma City Thunder have lost 3 Hall of Fame players, all in their 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Have managed to rebuild a basketball team. The Cleveland Cavaliers have lost Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and have managed to rebuild a basketball team all in the span of time since Derrick Rose was on the Bulls and the Bulls were still competitive.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Well, competent GM.
That's nuts, dog.
Wow. When you put it like that.
Opposite GM play.
Hey,
tell him about it. Tell him about it.
Presti's has been there the whole time, right? He's been there in Oklahoma the whole time, right?
Presti's been in OKC,
yeah. So he's had a chance to do well. I mean, we lost. There was a transition of Garpax to the AK. They just felt. I think Rose actually just saved Garpax's job. They built a good team, and then that was pretty much it. And then they got fortunate with 1.8% shot to get Rose.
Hey. They gave us fortune all you want. Hey, Adam Silver, I need you to rig this draft. Don't you send Cooper Flag to Washington?
We need, I would love that. Would be great to just put a cherry on this team of getting we need an impact player like that with getting Coby. I like that, Giddey is doing his thing as well. I mean, it's hey, I watched a game or two already this year.
Before we go, would you rather, if you're Cooper Flag, NIL money, all that stuff that come in with it, are you going to one of these teams that you know is going to mismanage you? Right now, the teams that have the best chance is like New Orleans. Washington is still up there, of course. Like, you could be on Washington with right. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm not going to lie. I might go back to college.
I'd go to New Orleans if I was him.
Bro, New Orleans has mismanaged every superstar they've had.
Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, the Zion.
Time out. Zion, half of that is on him and his ability to stay healthy. I mean, like,
half
he's still
is on him.
Yeah, half of that's on him. if Zion was still healthy or play like he should have when he was healthy, we'd be having a whole different conversation about New Orleans. Like we really would. So he kind of did that to himself.
So real quick, Utah right now is number 1 in terms of Utah.
Go back to college.
Utah.
Washington,
Go back to college, young fella.
Charlotte.
Go back to college, young fella.
New Orleans.
Wait a minute.
Philly.
Wait a
Philly
minute.
top 5.
Him and Jello might work. Not Jello. You know what I'm talking about.
Melo?
Baby ball.
LaMelo can't stay healthy. LaMelo got Lonzo old knees.
Right now, we're at 10.
He just passed it to him.
Hey, yeah, take these knees up off of me. Like all the ball boys got bad knees.
I'm a swerve, they gonna woo.
He the most successful ball brother.
With the music.
He's the most successful.
He's the
ball
most
brother.
he hasn't been injured.
Nah, Melo already got the bag though.
Oh, listen, he got the bag.
Melo.
I'm not sitting here saying he ain't get the bag. He ain't got the bones. Hey, man, let's get up out of here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love.
Boy.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. We'll be back tomorrow with the morning breeze. We'll be back tomorrow for the morning breeze. Didn't do the morning breeze this morning because they were all speaking right as soon as we were going, right after we were going to be done. So it was pointless. But make sure you tap in with all the content we got on the channel, man. As always, man, for the super producer Joel, did you just start eating before we got out of here? God dang, this mother talk about some. I'm in the gym. I'm trying to lose weight. He slammed in a bean pie on the thing while
a homemade bean
pie. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Homemade my foot. Them to go tacos.
Step away from the buffet table.
The street tacos.
Hey, man, y'all stay safe out there in Chicago. Bear down, see Reds Nation, stand up. Peace.
One love. One love.
Couldn't wait for the show to end.
Protein, man. It's protein.